Hello and welcome back to the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a bit. Haven't heard from you.
I'm good.
Where you been? You don't talk to me anymore?
I'm a little sleep deprived.
Really? The dog?
Yeah, the dog. I have to say, the puppy has gotten very comfortable.
Well, you haven't really been posting as much about the puppy. Are we having trouble in paradise? Because I actually have
if I'm
noticed.
being honest, a little bit.
The bloom is off the rose. Ronnie, ship up or ship out? I think, are we going to lose this dog? Are we
No, I'm not. No, I'm keeping the dog. I love the dog.
Is Mike doing well with it?
He's doing better than I am, but I work from home more than he does.
Right.
And so he just comes, he's like the dad that just comes home and the
hero.
kids go over and hug him.
Right.
And he's just, like, how was everyone's day? And I'm like,
Right.
not good.
Oh. You don't deal with these kids all day. That's the.
I'm also working, but I'm like also I'm the one taking him out. He had like some diarrhea the other day.
Hey, toilet talk in front of me. How could you? I don't talk like that.
No, it's hard. It's definitely hard. I've gotten to
diarrhea. What do you feed
the
this
honeymoon
thing?
phase is a little bit. I don't know. I gave him I read that you could give him yogurt on this lick pad. Yogurt, yeah.
Yogurt?
Yogurt's a thing.
Activia? You need some Activia.
Banana, yogurt.
Stick to the dog food.
No, but you need other shit in order to like distract them because he's also here's my real issue with him.
Okay.
He's now feels comfortable enough to be biting like
the
everything.
biting you bring up a lot.
The biting, like, do you see
my
hands?
God.
He's very, and I'm trying to like redirect.
Don't get your nails done. They'll shun you.
I know. It's like,
go, what's going on?
I'm getting scratched and bitten. And
so
it's
what do you have a trainer that you guys brought in?
We're getting one. You're getting one?
This wasn't prepared ahead of time?
They have to be like a certain age, I think, for the trainer to be the most effective. Because when they're too young, they like can't even pay attention. And they're just like, it's like there's a certain time frame where I think the trainer is more helpful.
Okay.
Supposedly.
I guess this is like I saw a dad with his dog and the little daughter was with I was literally on the way here and I was like thinking about you with the dog and I was like, wow, good for everyone with dogs. And then you hear the real story.
I'm giving you the behind the scenes.
That's what this podcast is all about. The truth. We want honesty.
Yeah. And I said, again, I have the new rugs. And the other day we were looking at him. We were like, "Oh my God, he's so cute!
The new rugs.
He's so cute. He's sleeping. Look at him!" And then, like, literally, we turn around and he's taking just like a massive watery shit right on the rug, right in front of us. I was like, "You could have just let me know you had to go out." Like, I literally said, "Not cool." Not cool.
Not cool, Ronnie. Now you sound like you're on the Jersey Shore every time you yell at him. Yes. Ronnie.
Yeah, he's just like. Very like nippy and bitey and like again he's very cute so he can like kind of get away with it ish but
he's getting less cute by the day.
I'm getting a little like all right I'm ready like get your shit together.
Ronnie, this is I hope he's watching on YouTube. You better get it together. I think we should have new merch. Not cool, Ronnie.
Not cool.
Not cool. The dog, sorry, I ruined the vibe.
He is ruining them. I'm like, because when he gets there, he's on, like when he first gets to the house, he's on his best behavior because he's like, it's like new environment. He's figuring out like what he can get away with. And then like, we're both a little more comfortable. So I'm not one watching him every second. And two, he's like, oh, like, we're all cool here. I can shit on the rug.
I can go shit anywhere. This is my house.
Yeah.
Do you crate him? Do you put him in the crate?
Yeah,
and then does he cry?
At night, he goes in the crate like very nicely.
Okay.
But during the day, he has a playpen and a crate. And I think maybe the space is a little too big because he's like, he doesn't like to be in the pen if someone's in the room.
Right. He wants to play.
Yeah. He wants to be like involved. He has like FOMO.
FOMO. This guy's not cool.
So he'll just keep barking. He'll just like bark. And then when he's sleeping, he's so cute.
Right. And then you forget and you're like, why don't I wake him up and play with him? And then he's biting again.
And people do say this. And again, I'm like, the dog is not being rehomed. I love the dog. I do feel like a huge attachment to him. I'm prefacing it with that. That's not true. But I am a little bit missing my pre-dog life.
Yeah.
If I'm being totally honest.
Just a week ago, you were at Tao getting bottle service. Now you're a mom.
More like a month ago, I was just like sleeping until 9.
Right.
And not like cleaning up shit. Like I'm like, Ron, I own a company. Like, why is like this doesn't seem right?
No wonder
I'm
we.
like,
I
bro,
thought you were bringing.
I'm an executive. Like,
Right.
what is going on? Like, I'm chasing after you, cleaning up.
I'm cleaning your shit.
You're putting holes in my pants. I'm like, do you know who you're speaking to?
Right. I started betches. Okay, respect me.
Doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, it's humbling. I'm sure.
It is a little bit humbling for sure.
Like,
yeah.
do the walks good? Do you get a good walk?
No, he can't even walk yet.
He can't even
he can
walk.
He can walk. He can't go on a walk. No, because
that's the only reason I have a dog.
That's
is
what
this
I
big
say.
Walk. Do you say anything to him when you bring him outside to make? I remember when we had a dog growing up.
You had a dog?
Oh yeah.
You never mentioned that. I don't think you've been talking about this dog for like 6 months. You never met.
I was like
What
12
kind of
or
dog?
13 years old, and my dad randomly was like, "Let's get a dog."
What kind of dog?
We had a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Of course you did. That's
Yep.
such a rich person dog.
Yeah, that's right. His name was Stoli after the
Oh,
vodka,
wow.
and because my dad had
Talk
a dog.
about that in therapy.
Right. Well, my dad had a dog named Schlitzy.
Okay.
After Schlitz beer.
How have you not mentioned that you had a dog this entire time?
Well, the dog and I were never really.
You weren't that involved.
We
in the dog.
weren't
Okay.
close. My family made fun of me because I wouldn't even like bend at the knees to take care of it. Like
You were not even petting. Is it boy?
Boy
Yeah.
Stoli. He was a
a cute
model
name.
for Abercrombie.
Shut up.
He was in an Abercrombie catalog.
Is everyone in your family a performer?
Yes, everyone does some sort of.
Even the dog doesn't do like a corporate normal job.
No, the dog had a modeling career, and I can't believe I've never talked about this.
How have you not? Literally, there's just been so many opportunities for you to talk about the fact that you had a dog growing up. So your dog was shitting everywhere?
No, the dog, what he would do, the door would open, and the dog would sprint out the fucking door and run out into the yard. And we lived in like a neighborhood that had like two entrances, like had two streets that came in, and it was a circle. The dog would sprint out into this neighborhood into the great wilderness, and my mom would like literally, it was as if like a baby fell off a cruise ship. Like it was like, someone get my dog! And I like would, my heart would run up, and it got to the point where I was like, just let it die. Okay. At this point, it's not my problem. I'm not gonna go searching the streets with flashlights as if we're going missing persons. We're on a Netflix documentary. Like,
So what happened to the dog?
it lived and then it died. You know, they have heart
Normal-
issues.
okay, it didn't, like, get out and run away?
No.
Okay.
The dog, every time it ran away, it would be fine. But it was this huge anxiety moment
Right.
for me. It gets me mad to this day because I would be like, no, fuck this dog.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, not doing the dog thing, and fuck this dog. Like, it's like
No, I see what
it
you're.
would
I get what
drive
you're
me
saying. Yeah.
crazy. And then it was like, oh, Jared doesn't like the dog. No, I don't like this whole situation.
You're saying you don't want a dog sit.
No. I like a well-trained, I respect
Yes, and that's
a well-trained
my
dog.
dog.
That's the one thing.
He will be well trained. He will be well
I
trained.
believe you.
How's your dry April going?
Well, I feel good in a way that I'm embarrassed at how good I feel. Not drinking.
Okay.
Like I'm like
you want to talk about it? You want to tell everyone?
wanna tell everyone
You want to tell people how great not drinking has
how
been,
great-
but you don't want to be that person.
I don't want to be that person. I don't want to like admit to that I was probably going overboard with
Okay.
the amount of drinking I was doing because I was like pretty good at it.
What do you mean?
Like I wasn't like angry drunk.
You're very functional.
I'm
drunk.
functional. And I'm like, man, life is a lot easier.
Wow.
Not drink. And I'm not missing anything. If we want to like dovetail this into dating.
Are you still dating?
I'm trying to figure out how that works.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really gone on like the sober date thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to imagine it, the date that like turns into the fun night. Not
Right.
just this like interview.
It's true. It's hard, I think, to imagine. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's
Right.
hard to imagine getting to that crazy fun night without.
Right. It's like,
Something,
like
yeah.
right, like cue person who's been not drinking for 10 years going, it's easy. And it's like, you get out of this conversation. I think like the imagining, like, it's just that you lose options. You know,
Right.
like, oh, what are we going to do tonight? We can do, we can do wine, we can do a cocktail, we can do a dinner spot, we can do this part of town. And you start to think like, okay, now I got to like figure out a place that's like, and again, I've given out this advice and I'm taking it myself. The coffee wine bar hybrid, I think is like a great option. But like, I still like to, what do you call it? Fuck. So, so like this idea, like I think when you go on a date, there's like there's a right brain, left brain version of it. There's the right brain, like I want to meet someone, I want to get to know them, I want to see if we're the match. And then there's the left brain of like, I want to touch their leg, I want it to like get a little fun and a little, have the opportunity for like, for the artist, me to paint my picture, Right. So
there is something like if I imagine someone going on like a third date and then having a totally sober sexual experience, I would be like, those people are in a relationship.
Right. He must love her.
It feels like it would be more serious to have like completely sober.
Right.
Sex,
I'm with
which again
you.
is like, I think it's like a little sad.
It's
like,
immature.
When you think about it. Yeah.
It's immature. And I think I am getting over that. Like I'm like I've thought what you're saying is a thought that I've had.
Right. I'm not saying that's like a healthy thought. I think that's
I think we're very unhealthy people.
Yeah.
The idea that we came on here with a podcast to tell everyone how to be healthy. No, we're admitting to our our humanity, right. Which is to say that like, if I went on a coffee date and I was like seriously attracted to this woman, like I don't know, I don't have the moves to go, you want to come over?
Right. Or like the confidence, I guess, to an extent of like.
Right. It's just not my nature. But then it's like, you do go back at yourself. What are you doing? Are you going on this day? Are you being serious? Do you really want to meet someone? And I think if any woman was to take anything away from this kind of like this rant of sorts, this is kind of how guys think of dates. Like the
which is what? The end?
Not the end, just I want to have fun, I want to meet them, but I still don't want to like take it too seriously. I'm not really thinking ahead. I'm kind of thinking of like one date from now, but I'm also the future is out there somewhere. That's kind of where I'm at. So it's like, so that, so the not drinking has been like, I went to Nashville. I had a great time in Nashville. I enjoyed like food more, not drinking.
Right.
I've been not like feeling guilty about having like
you probably
real meals.
Remember and savor the food more.
Right. And like stop when I'm full, and like wake up in the morning and I'm not like Ronnie shitting everywhere. So like I went to Nashville and I actually had the thought of like, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything by not drinking? And it's like, no. Right. I missed, that's me not, in the middle of a month, but like there was no night where I was like, what I missed was going to a bar, sitting there, talking to someone that I didn't really have much to talk about with and going home and eating.
Right. Which you've done also many times.
To death,
yes.
So that's that.
Have you thought about like once your month is over?
I've thought about, because we just posted the video. So this is all to say, we are doing a live You Up podcast, April 30th.
Yes, that is 1 week from today if you're a regular listener.
Assemble the group chat. There are tickets available. We want to sell this out. I think it's going to be a fun group that's going to be there. It's Times Square. It's a Wednesday night. To me, it's the kickoff of like spring. Like to me, this is like...
Get you ready for the summer.
Right. Like the weather's changing. This is the time to start getting out of the house and doing things and meeting people. And this is kind of maybe your first run of the new season, because I was thinking about like when, it's been cold, it's especially in the Northeast. What a great opportunity to go out and have a good time. And like, I guess let this show be your training wheels to like social, because I think we all kind of get in our own.
Like a booster to just get you out, launch you into summer dating.
That's right. And so let's all laugh.
Great
let's
show to
cry
also
together. The show's
go
great.
to with someone you're newly dating or have been with. I think it's like a really fun show, especially we do like red flag or deal breakers. People get to you get to see the person next to you.
Right.
What do they, in real time, what do they think of this scenario?
Right. What does this guy think?
Fun conversation.
Right. Is he a dog person? Does he hate dogs? All
Did
these
he talk
things.
about wanting his family youthful dog to die? Maybe that'll be red flag or deal breaker.
Yeah. So everyone go get tickets. It's on my website, jaredfree.com. That's the only show I really have is I've taken
so if you want to
time.
see Jared and me, but Jared, because you can't see him anywhere else, get to the show.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, would I drink at that show? I don't know. Maybe. Would I go out after? Yeah. I have no issue with that. I think what the drinking does, and I've probably said it the last time I stopped drinking on this show. It's like, it is a time machine. It makes the day shorter. It makes the night go by faster.
Yeah.
And
well, I think it's like anything else. It's more fun when you do it less frequently.
Right. Well, that's
Like-
what I'm trying to
Right.
figure out.
Like, I don't think you need to, again, I'm not your sponsor. I don't know if you need to never drink again. You can totally
No.
do that if you feel like that's working for you. But I also just think there's something to like, when I do it, it's going to be like more thoughtful.
Right. That's
know?
what I'd like to get to and to enjoy it more.
I'm the worst at encouraging.
Thank you. Yeah, good job, Jordana. No, I've been enjoying the not drinking. I feel better, all that stuff. But what are we talking about today? Oh, and if you're in foggy London, the UK, I might be coming.
Ooh.
So that's something's coming.
Something's
coming. Maybe in June. So
What a great city.
I love London.
Same.
So the live show is coming, but what we need from you, the listener, and the person who's coming to the show, we want your emails. We want a deal revealed. You have a screenshot of a text conversation that you want translated. We want a dating app makeover. We've been getting submissions, but we want some good ones. We want to help some people. So send in your dating app profile and we will give you a makeover live on stage. And that's the fun part of the show.
Such a fun interactive show. It's like really, it's fun to watch. It's fun to be part of. Like everyone has a great time. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, get them yet. And if you want to come on stage with us, we're gonna be kind. Don't worry, but we're gonna be helpful.
We make fun with love.
Exactly.
So get your submissions in.
And guys, we are taking submissions until this Monday, April 28th. That is the last day we are taking any submissions for the live show that is going to be on Wednesday, April 30th.
Send it to uup@betches.com. Title it Live You Up Podcast NYC. And send in your deal reveals, your dating app makeovers, your emails. If you're going to be at the show, we want to hear from you.
Today's advice is brought to you by our friends at Dry Bar. When you're looking for love, you're typically looking for something that will last. Unless you're fine with that what are we sort of lifestyle. But hey, to each their own. Dry Bar is all about long-lasting looks, helping you take your blowout from home to work to that post-work dinner date and maybe to the morning after. But even if the date is a dud, at least you'll know your look will last.
I love it. I like that we're sponsored by, a company we use,
yes,
but also something that can help you for the dating world. This is what it's all about.
Exactly.
So let's read the email.
Let's do it. Dear J&J, subscriber here. Love everything you do.
Let me just say to the subscribers, we have some You Up with Benefits episodes coming out that have been really great.
We're on it.
We love hearing from the subscribers. We want to thank you for being a subscriber, for getting this a day early. And also you can sign up in the description of this episode. You can sign up for the Benefits episodes. $2 extra a month. You get personal with Jordana and I, that fun little dog alcohol talk. I'm sure you'll hear more of that in the coming months and weeks and years. So
yeah, check it out. Okay. Jordana, oversharing is my favorite after You Up. And Jared, my group chat, is obsessed with 37 and single.
Came in with compliments. Love it.
Love it. Can't wait for the next special. I, 31 female, have been dating my boyfriend, also 31, for 7 months, and things are going great. We have fun together, get along with each other's friends. He's met my parents. I'm meeting his next month. And while we've had fights, they feel like normal growing pains. Overall, I feel confident we're building a future together, but we barely say I love you. I said it first in January after feeling it for months, and he immediately said it back. Since then, he's initiated it once, and I've said it maybe twice more, always with him responding in kind. I grew up in a big love you family. Every call, every goodbye, every time. I will say it to my friends and past partners, but with my boyfriend, I feel like I hold back because I don't know if he wants to hear it or why he won't say it first. He has a complicated family relationship, so maybe he just didn't grow up with it, but we haven't talked about it. How do I bring this up without sounding insecure? Is it fair to ask about his childhood and how love was expressed? Should I just start saying it more and see what happens? Is there a normal amount that couples say it? Thanks for the advice and all you do. A betch in love.
This is a beautiful email. We're all crying, teary-eyed.
Yes.
Are you an I love you household?
Growing up, yes.
Growing up, you were?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of people who treated each other like shit and constantly told each other that they loved each other.
Really?
Yes.
The yin and the yang.
Constant, yes.
Okay. I'm surprised by this.
Really?
I wouldn't think of you as being an I love you family.
We are. And
Was
I
it-
actually, now that I'm older, find it like a little annoying.
Really?
I do it less now that I'm older. Yeah.
You're out of the I love you game.
I'm out of the I love you game because I'm like, everyone's like I don't feel love. Like it almost feels like a crutch of like, we're all good, even though we just said something really mean, right?
Right.
Right.
You know,
Okay,
like, what
love
are
you,
supposed
bye.
to-
Right, whatever.
No, that doesn't count. Yeah.
Right. I found it like lessens the meaning by saying it. Mike, on the other hand, not an I love you family.
Yeah. And they
And-
seem like the most loving people I've ever met in
Right.
my
That's
entire
what,
life.
it's like ironic.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you have to say it, it ain't so.
Right.
Like-
Right.
And I think a little bit of that is rubbed off on me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I think this email kind of like, it resonates with me
Sure.
a little bit.
Do you ever wonder if you're saying it enough?
Like to Mike or to my family?
To Mike?
To anyone?
I would say to Mike is
To
really
Mike?
the more important one. I
No, because I think I like that it's said like not constantly, but when it's said, it feels more meaningful.
guess. Right.
Do you know what? It's not said as like, oh, this is like our standard closing goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like, okay, well, it kind of loses,
Like
I
a Shark
think,
Tank.
the meaning.
And for that reason, I love you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like that it's more sparing now. In the beginning, maybe I think when I was less secure in the relationship, I was maybe like, well, does he like me? Is he like not saying it so that he can break up with me? Like
Right.
all those like anxious thoughts. But I think now that I feel a lot more secure, I'm like, when he says it, I'm like, oh, he must have really been feeling it in that moment.
The timing of her email is apt for the question.
Yes.
7 months in, we're doing great. We're in I love you land. Am I doing it enough? Not enough. You know,
Are you in an I love you family?
My mom ends calls as if I'm going off to war, and it's a little annoying.
So yes.
So but she's an I love you person.
You don't say, do you say it back?
I say it like I'm
Love you, Mom.
embarrassed. Yeah, like she'll be like, okay,
My friends are watching.
I'll be trying to get off the phone. I'll be like, okay, goodbye, I gotta go. Okay, and then the conversation will be over, and she'll go, I love you, and I'll go, all right, okay, I love you. I'm just like trying to like shake off the call, like, you know. So I don't know. My dad is definitely not an I love you guy, but
Has he said it to you ever? We're really deep in therapy.
he says it. Love you. Gotta okay. Be good. You
Does
know,
it make
like,
you a little uncomfortable?
none of it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's kind of normal. It
Did you
comes
say
up
it a
when
lot in a relationship?
I've said it. I don't know if the feelings matched the words.
Mm-hmm.
I think because when you're not in it, you start afterwards. You go, why did I fucking say that? Like, did I really feel it? You know, if I'm not in it anymore, how could I? You know, but you can
Right.
love someone for a moment, and
It's also
I do
so
think you can.
subjective.
I know it's
Yeah.
just hard. It's one of those like things that I can't answer that no one can answer. Like,
Mhm.
because you can't tell someone like, you know, how to feel. And then putting words to that feeling. That's why I like this email. Like, her biggest issue is the question, how do I bring this up without sounding insecure? And it's like, how about you're insecure?
Right. To me, that's the problem in itself. Like
Right.
if you want to get to the next level of a relationship with an actual like profound love,
Mm.
you kind of need to be insecure to do that. Like
Right.
you
You
get
have to admit to your
closer-
insecurities.
Right. You get
or
closer,
you don't open up.
Yeah, exactly. You get closer through vulnerability, not
Right.
by like pretending like you were like cool. with
Right.
everything.
How do I bring up, I don't think you say I love you enough without sounding insecure? I don't think that's how do I say I'm hungry without sounding like I need to eat? Like I don't know what you're talking about. I understand what she's saying because I get this is like a relatable issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was to give the women who write into this show advice from my perspective, from the emails we get based on this question, how do I bring this up without sounding insecure? Stop treating your boyfriends like they're chipmunks. Okay, you're not going to chase them away. You don't have to go up to them quietly and, hey,
And if you
I love you enough.
if you do, he definitely doesn't love you.
Right. Whenever I've gotten like a serious conversation brought to me, like, you know, if she, and this isn't a we problem too. Like this comes up a lot on this podcast as well. Oh, you're worried about how he expresses love. Who gives a shit? You know, she's like, I come from an I love you family and he does, and he has a complicated childhood. So you know the answer to your question.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's not used to saying I love you, maybe not in his nature, but that's not your problem.
Right. Your problem is you don't know if he's in. You want to make sure that he's into you.
Right. I feel insecure about loving you so much and not feeling sure if you love me as much as I love you because I put words to it that mean a lot to me and I don't know what these words mean to you.
Yeah. And that's a vulnerable thing to say.
Right. If I was to make this about, I try to put myself in the shoes of the person she's writing in about.
Mm-hmm.
if someone was like, hey, I love you, and you never say it back to me, I would either explain my feelings on saying I love you and how important that is to me, yes or no, or I'd be like, holy shit, I got to dump this chick because I'm not where she is and I don't see myself ever getting there.
And both things are good.
Right. Those are both the answer.
Yes.
The answer to
Answers
your issue
that you need.
Right.
Yes.
And you can either avoid that, and I wouldn't blame you for doing that.
I don't love you and I never will.
Right. It's not scary. I don't love you and I never will. And good luck on the dating apps again.
Better to know that now.
Right.
Yeah.
As scary as that sounds, I'm just like the I love you question. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can never go wrong expressing your needs if it's done in a like healthy, non-aggressive way.
Right.
You literally there's nothing bad that can come of it. The bad thing that will come of it is you finding out something you would have found out earlier.
And if she wants to work her way up to this, like maybe you try on a few I love yous. You throw a few at him. See how he responds. Like he's going,
She says she says it back.
This is the problem with you women. Is that you get what you ask for and then it doesn't feel as good as what you wanted it to feel.
Right, she wants him to initiate.
That's people. I was fucking around with you women, but when you go, oh, I just wish they'd say I love you more, and then you go, I love you, and then the guy goes, I love you now, and then you go, well, that's. And then you're like, you never say I love you. And he's like, I did the other day. I gave you that fun I love you. And then you're like, well, that's not how I wanted it. It's like, well,
that's why again, I don't think it's about like the action. It's about the feeling that you want.
Right.
I'm nervous. Right. And again, it's I terms. I'm scared that you don't love me as much as I love you.
Right. And I say it half out of insecurity, half because I like saying it to you.
Right.
And here's the reality on I love yous. I love yous are for the person saying them.
Oh, yeah.
They're not for the person receiving. Yeah. You want I love yous back. You want encouragement. You want all the validation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to
You're
sound
like,
good.
I love you is like, we're good.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
We chill.
Right.
So this idea that like, I just want to make sure there's love in this household. No. You want to make sure you're getting to where you want to go. Okay.
Well, it's a signaling thing,
yeah.
Right. This is my signal to you that I'm not going to break up with you probably like tonight.
Right. But I think like at a certain point, going to him and being like, hey, this I love you thing, I've been like, throwing it out there. It makes me feel kind of alone when I don't really get it back
and you could say that about,
feel it from you.
You could say that about anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could say that about like, it makes, I feel like I'm giving a lot more acts of service, or I'm giving a lot more, I'm initiating sex all the time. It makes me feel a little insecure. Like anything that you want more of, I think.
And then he has to give an I statement, or he's gonna go, holy shit, the jig is up.
Yeah. Again, both good things, even though it doesn't seem like that.
Tough thing. It's tough. I don't think she came here. I'm in a good relationship and I don't get enough I love yous. We're like, well, he might not, he might dump you. It is not what she thought. But I'm saying, yeah, right. Like that has to be an option that you can't be afraid of. Because if you go down that road, which I don't think is going to happen based on this email,
yeah.
You have to acknowledge that it's a real road that you can handle. Mm-hmm. And the other road is way better and makes your relationship better.
People have different, I guess, I don't think that it's in itself is a sign that things are, people have different ways and different comforts with expressing love in different ways. So I think it's like, I don't think this is at all necessarily like a red flag.
A hug can be an I love you.
Yeah.
Like a good hug. That's
You're
their way of saying it.
doing something nice for you.
Right.
Yeah.
That can be their version of I love you. It doesn't have to be those words.
I agree.
Let's do some more emails. We have a response to my PSA on how to set up your single friends, which really people were happy with.
Yes.
People were someone finally said it.
Yes.
Is what I got a lot of emails saying. A lot of DMs. Finally. Someone told these relationship assholes.
You are an advocate.
I'm an advocate for the losers. Okay? We want to be set up better than you're doing.
What do we want?
We want setups.
When do we want it?
Now. How do we want it? With pictures.
You're picketing outside.
We want pictures.
I want you picketing in front of a wedding at the plaza.
Right.
What do we want?
Setups. I love this. I'm always open to feedback. I disagree with their feedback before we get into it. So a couple weeks ago, we had a segment, and it was really a PSA on how to ask your friends to set you up. It got great feedback, but one listener countered with a story of how she tries to set up her single friends. Let's read this email. Okay, so this is from the perspective of someone who has tried to set up their single friends. Okay. Why married people don't want to set their single friends up with each other's friends. It's always backfires, they wrote in all caps. Unless it's the exception to the rule and the friends never have ups and downs in the relationship and stay together forever and get married. This happened to my husband and I in 3 different situations, each a different situation and all different people.
Maybe you guys are the problem.
Well, there's one central character in this horrific tale.
Yes.
Is her and her husband.
Let's hear it.
So, situation 1. They met at our party, started dating, one cheated. They hated both of us and each other as a result. We all no longer speak.
Something missing there.
Yeah, the setup. They didn't set them up.
Yeah.
So
why would they hate both of you?
Right. We don't, to me, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right, you didn't cheat on them.
Right.
But they probably got involved. They got, they became like the person they went to with the story. Sides had to be taken.
Someone knew something, maybe.
Listen, when people cheat, it's emotionally like
Sure.
a charge, and I can understand you lose friends. There's a battle, and people die in the battle. So I can understand how I don't agree that this is why you shouldn't set up your friends.
Plus, they didn't set them up.
Right.
Again.
Situation 2. One friend slid into the DMs of the other as friends with benefits only. She caught feels, he didn't. They ended it, and now both hate each other, and we can't hang out in groups together. Again, you didn't set them up.
Yes.
So
that's life.
That's life. These are DMs. That can go down, but I also don't think you're responding to what I was promoting.
I agree.
Situation 3. One slid into the DMs. They went on a date. It was awkward, and one didn't want the added pressure from us. We never even set them up, nor talked to them about it until after. We literally had zero involvement. It was just because they had us both as mutual friends and met once through us. Everyone's feelings were hurt, and now we can't have them together in group settings either. Another 2 people you didn't set up.
Yes.
So
this is just life of people meeting.
Right.
Who happen to be in their orbit.
Right. And it's like, and again, you seem like social people because they're having all these get-togethers where people are meeting, which I think is great.
Yeah.
But I also think this is love and war. Like this is what happens if you put, 10 singles on an island. Things are going to go down. This is the premise of any dating show.
It also sounds like everyone involved in all of these situations is like a little immature.
Right. And they write, each resulted in us acting as mediators between the couples, exhausting conversations to placate feelings and having to give hard truths that have made parts of friendships awkward now. And we have to schedule separate events and choose who to invite or assume one won't show up to avoid the other being there. In Dreamland, we want our friends to be together and go on double dates and fly off into the sunset. Duh. But we do not want the responsibility when it falls through, which it does most of the time. Thanks, sincerely, keep me out of it.
All right. Well, it sounds like she hasn't facilitated any setups in this entire email.
Well, it's missing my point. Let's not blame setups.
Right.
Let's agree. There's one truth here. Setups are the best way to meet someone.
I agree.
There is no feedback to that will convince me otherwise. I've thought this out.
That's the way you want to be set up.
Me and anyone. I know this.
A lot of men do not want to be set up.
They want to be set up.
You think they do? Or
they don't trust themselves to not be this guy who blows up a friend group.
Okay.
It's actually protecting. It's protecting people, setting them up. Like this whole, because people are generally fearful of discomfort. A setup offers the probable chance of discomfort. So you have to, think about your actions a little bit more.
Well, that's good for women.
Again, I agree. This is protective. So I think it's funny because everyone doesn't want to mention that. There's a few things No one wants to talk about being set up because it does put you out there. There's a vulnerability that you're like saying, I would like to meet
you're saying,
someone.
yeah, you're basically that. I totally agree.
What happens with couples, and the reason that I brought this up on the last episode is on that episode with giving the PSA is your vulnerability is taken advantage of. They hear, I want to be set up, and they take that as I need to be set up. And that's just
or
not
I
the
will
case.
be set up with anyone that you have.
Right.
Yeah.
What you want, a setup is, what every person wants is, I thought of you specifically for this other person for one reason. It doesn't have to be a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one reason. And what do you think? Here are their pictures. Here's their situation. And
no worries if not.
No worries if not. And it's up to this couple to go, and by the way, we're going to back off now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the ask of any couple. We'll leave you to, if you don't go after it, you don't go after it. I won't be, offended.
I mean, I might have one of you on my podcast to discuss what went wrong and who the villain was, but
you might have to.
Other than that, I'll be totally hands off.
This is the point. And Jordana's referencing our benefits episodes of Julia and also me getting set up. Yeah. So if Jordana sets you up, you might go on a podcast or two.
Maybe. There might be one or two,
But that's what you sign up for. Again, when you said this is a mature, the maturity is, I understand that I'm going to have to deal with uncomfortable conversations. One with my friend who shares us. Hey, it didn't work out. I got to let you know. I don't hate them. I hope they don't hate me.
Yeah, there's a bar of respectability too. I'm going to end.
Right.
I'm not just going to ghost this person. I'm going to end it. If I'm not interested in it, I'm going to give them a little more thought than I would a person that I met on Hinge.
Right. And that's kind of what people want is just a little more thought, a little less disposability. The word disposable comes up so much with modern dating. And it's like, okay, well, how do we get rid of that disposability? We add consequences. The consequence of losing your friend, of making your conversations with friends uncomfortable. This is why it's like, oh, should I date, my friend's sister is awesome. Well, are you going to be able to deal with your friend if this doesn't work out? Do you think she's so awesome to risk the friendship that you've had?
And that's why I would think about it. Yeah, I would never set up two people who are like very entangled in my life.
I think you would.
I don't know about that.
You wouldn't if you were like they're perfect for one another.
Maybe if they would have to, I would have to be like, sure, it was definitely. It couldn't be like, I think you'd have a nice night.
But that's my point to this person that's like saying we don't want to deal with it. Like, I think you do want to deal with it if you take it as seriously as we want you to take it. Your friend that doesn't want to be set up, they're saying, no, I don't want you to just put me with anybody. I want you to be like, this is someone I don't know. It just dawned on me.
Right.
I keep coming back to this and I just figure I'll give you, and I'll back away. But I think this is where it comes into the thoughtfulness of the setup that everyone wants. This is kind of what I was in my PSA. We do need one reason. The people getting set up want this as much as the people setting you up. Right. They want you to take it as seriously as they're taking it. That's why the setup gets a bad name. Is like, well, it was done frivolously. Oh, it was just a
two
human
single people,
they met. Yeah, and even in this, these people didn't really admit to the consequences, of their actions. Like, if I was to DM someone that I knew you were good friends with, I would know that there's...
You would expect that I would have some level of involvement.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would expect that if it went wrong, I'd have to explain myself to you and them. So I hear what they're saying, though. I think this only, this only agrees with the PSA.
Yeah. Because, again, none of those situations were set up.
Right.
All right.
Let's do another email.
Okay. Hi, J&J. Jumping right in. How do you deal with jealousy when your close friends get off the struggle bus and you're still riding it?
Uh-oh.
I spent the last year in a rocky situationship. Started great, met at a dog park, LOL.
Okay.
Turned exclusive, then fell apart. He didn't want to date me, but liked having me around, and I was so into him, I settled for scraps. It ended with him moving across the country.
Tale as old as time.
I was about to say that.
That's
very
how,
thing.
that is, man.
Liked having me around, settled for scraps.
Hey, I got to go across the country now.
That's actually perfect.
For everyone involved.
I would love for anyone who's ever dumped me to move across the country.
Really? Just out of sight?
Totally.
No run-ins?
No run-ins. You're kind of like, it wouldn't have worked anyway. He's going across the country.
Listen, kid, Got to go to San Francisco now.
Yeah, I mean,
got to go fuck all the women in that town.
If you're not going to marry me, get the fuck out of the state.
Right.
It's my motto.
That's your motto. That should be the rules.
During all of this, one of my close friends was in a similar boat, single, crushing on someone who wouldn't commit. We vented, cried, and healed together. Then her guy came back, did a full 180, and now he's all in. What? It's a miracle.
That's gotta.
She hit the jackpot.
Yeah, she found the. That's the jackpot. Really?
At 27,
the guy who didn't want to date you now wants to date you, and you're gonna just ignore that the rest of your lives?
That's every rom-com.
Yeah, that is the
that's
rom-com.
literally the rom-com.
I feel bad for him. He's gonna hear this the rest of his life.
He came back.
Yeah,
it can happen to you too. Hang in there.
Don't. That's not advice.
Always
from
settle.
This show.
Okay. Someone will settle for you too.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just fuck him enough at 2 a.m, one day he'll be your husband.
Urban dating myth.
Yes.
Urban dating myth. Okay. Obviously, I'm so happy for her.
Yeah, right. I'm so happy she got the thing that I couldn't make happen in my own life.
But if I were to avoid being the 3 women from White Lotus, I'll come out and say it. I wish that were me.
Oh, no.
Why can my
Lorraine. I don't know. She felt like a Lorraine.
That's like
Lori.
Laura. Why are you picking names
I don't
that
know,
sound
L
like
names?
50-year-old women?
Elaine.
Lauren. What about Lauren?
Lauren.
Okay.
Stop it.
Why can my guy not come back and say all that?
Because he's in San Francisco getting blown by all those,
Karen. As soon as she texted me all the updates and has continued with every text he sends, I literally see red. Or green with envy, I guess.
Right, because she's dancing in the end zone. She's like, I did it. And she's not realizing.
She caught one.
Yeah, she's like, I got him. All our years of struggle are over. And she's saying it to the person.
Yeah.
This is where the women, the tribe of women kind of gets annoying. It's like, we're going through this together.
Well, this feels this also probably feels so much better to the friend because she felt like she's been tortured for so long that it's put on this pedestal and she's like, I nailed it.
Right.
Yeah.
But her and her friend were going through the same exact thing. So it's like, and they've been
read the room a little
confiding
bit.
each other. Right. But it's like, can you believe these men?
Right.
And then finally hers
it can happen to you.
It's like her leaving, situationship island. Goodbye. I'll write to you.
It's like the Toy Story. What's it called? The
claw.
Yeah.
The claw.
I go on to a better place.
Yes.
Bye, loser. Okay.
We went ring shopping. What did you do today? I ate a sandwich and looked at his Instagram stories.
I literally see red or green with envy, I guess. I'm really happy for her. She deserves a good guy who knows her worth, and she went through it. I know. But, and this is probably a flaw to work on, I'm having a hard time texting her back super excitedly, asking her probing questions, etc. I feel sad, I feel jealous, and it's hard not to blow that up into I feel left behind. I feel like a loser and not worth coming back for and alone. So, 1. How do I actually feel happy for her when I feel left behind? 2, can I tell her that I am happy, but also kind of sad? 3, how do I not let relationship jealousy turn into a full-blown identity crisis? I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Hope this is relatable. The last passenger on the struggle bus. Put that in your dating app bio.
The last.
The only one left. Take it or leave it.
Hey, who wants to date the last passenger on the struggle bus?
Enticing.
Yeah,
Enticing.
I feel for her. It sucks. Because this was a team sport and then it became singles tennis right before her eyes. They went from, we're in it together. Oh my God, situationships, they stink. Look at these guys. They keep coming back. And then the other one got the thing that we tell people not to count on.
Yes.
We say,
it happened for her.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like your front row seats.
For now, anyway.
For now, right. Well, like when she writes, I'm really happy for her. She deserves a good guy who knows her worth. I don't think that's him. Like he just realized her worth, I guess. Like,
yeah.
But you can't go down the road. Here's what you can't do.
But she would she would also feel the same way if it was a new guy that showed up and was treating her.
You think so? Like
yes.
if a new guy, it wouldn't hurt as much.
I think it would still hurt
as much. It would still hurt, but maybe
it's
the idea that it did, like that it wasn't the situation that, because a lot of this is a lot of her email is like, she's got the thing that I couldn't do.
Right. I think that's a little bit part of it, but I also think it's like it's very hard to be happy for someone when they have the thing that you want.
Right. I guess my warning to her is don't shit on this guy.
Oh, definitely not.
I think that'll be a mistake. It won't make you feel good. You'll end up being friends.
Doesn't even sound like she wants to shit on this guy.
No, I know. But I think that's like a tempting thing to be like, look at, he was a dick before, to talk about how horrible he was before, and now because he's doing it now, and we're making fun of it. But like,
yeah, I mean, and it might and probably will not end well if I had to guess. But that doesn't really have anything to do with this.
Right.
What I would say to her.
You don't want to wish for someone to lose.
No, totally.
That's when they start winning even more.
And there's
nothing worse than being at a casino table. You're like, I hope this person loses they play
giving them reverse
blackjack wrong. Yeah, reverse jinx, as Bill Simmons calls it. And it's just so frustrating because then she's gonna end up with the biggest ring, the biggest house, 17 babies.
Yeah. You got to wish her well, so none of that happens.
Yeah, you got to hope for the worst for her by wishing her the best.
Here's what I would say, and this again requires a little vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Next time she's telling you about this guy and all the amazing things and how he's finally put her name in his contacts list and took her off Snapchat and did whatever.
It all happened.
I think you'd say, listen, I'm so happy for you. I have to admit, I'm also very jealous. I'm kind of going through it, and I kind of feel like shit hearing about all this stuff because I'm really jealous. I wish that happened to me.
Right. Admitting jealousy does feel good.
It's so hard to do, but
yeah.
I think it almost feels like you can breathe again when you just say that out loud. People don't like to say that.
No, they don't. It's a hard thing. I agree. It's hard to admit, but it does kind of like acknowledge this. At least you're being honest. You know, like, and you're not jealous of like the guy. You're just jealous of like
the situation,
the next phase of life that you're ready for. And that's like, I think sussing out what you're jealous of and making it not personal.
Totally. And it takes the air out of the situation where you're like pretend to be someone that you're not, but you can be both at the same time.
Right. And a good friend will acknowledge it, hear you. Some people might not hear it, but you would hope, the hope is she would hear that like you're feeling a little bit jealous of that she's like got chosen by the claw, and she's going to stop kind of considering you guys a we and we did it and this team thing that like women get put into weirdly, like Katy Perry goes to space, so we all go to space. It's like, no, like you're still here on Earth and you have to go to work. You didn't get to sing Like a Butterfly with Gayle King next to you. So like that's infuriating.
Read the room.
Right. So you hope that this like opening up and vulnerability that you share with her. And I'm sure that your friend is sitting there going, wishing that her story was different. I'm sure she's sitting there. She has her own insecurities about getting back with
How
the
long
guy.
is this going to last?
Right. And maybe that helps her open up to you like, hey, I know I'm excited, but like I do have these fears that like, and it makes me be even closer.
Makes you closer.
Friends. Right.
Totally. I mean, I do this with every person who tells me they're pregnant. I say, I'm
very jealous?
I say I'm, and they're always telling, like, I just want to let you know.
They go into whisper mode?
A little bit, like we're in text whisper mode, whatever.
Right.
Just wanted to let you know that I'm not going to be having martinis because
I don't want to make it a thing.
But I do think the saying I'm jealous thing, they know you're jealous. She knows you're jealous.
Because she would be.
Yeah.
Right.
That's human. And again, I think it brings you closer than like pretending to be, if they're your real friend, which sounds like she is.
Right. She says, how do I actually feel happy for her when I feel left behind? You can be both.
Yeah.
I think you can be like,
you can totally be both.
Right. Like I'm happy for her and I feel left behind. Like, I think separating those two is like kind of the first move, like, admitting I feel left behind and holy shit, I love her. I want her to be happy, you know? So, can I tell her that I'm happy, but also kind of sad? Yes.
Yeah. Again, you don't know how this is going to go, but this is just proof. It could happen. It could happen to you. Hang on there.
He might come back from San Francisco. I don't know why.
Keep responding to the text.
I don't do it.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is like horrible for humanity, good for this woman.
Right. Because it can happen. Anything can happen.
This is like when Carrie and Big get married.
Yeah. It's like, why would you do this to the audience?
Right.
Right. I was trying to think, do I have this with my male friends?
With any career stuff?
I guess, where you see things happen for people and you go, good for them. I am happy
But
for
I'm
them.
also
But like,
jealous,
oh,
yeah.
I'd love that to happen for me.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And that's
course.
jealous.
That's jealousy.
That
Yeah.
is,
That's envy, you know, those things. That
Yeah.
I felt it.
And if someone said to you, I feel jealous, that would be something that would probably make you, how would that feel to you if you got something and you told a friend about it? And
I would
like,
actually be rather that than them to back away from me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that brings you closer to someone than pretending like you're not, like you are, like your feelings are pure. Yeah, well, you have to be very secure in yourself to be able to do that, and very like self-aware of your own feelings, to have the self-awareness to say like, and it's sort of like an intimate thing to say like, I kind of want your life or this part of it.
Right.
I wish I had this part of your life.
And that's the thing. Like, you make a wish to a genie and it goes the wrong way. You don't even want it the way you think you want it.
That's true.
You know, and this is like annoying advice, but I hope, because I'm single and in a similar boat to this woman, that like, I know when you push too hard for anything, that's when it never happens. Yeah. It's like never feels as good as you think it's going to feel. And it's like, anytime it's just like, so anytime I've been surprised by something, it's felt so much better.
Yeah, because your expectations are not as high.
Right. I mean, if anything, this is a message to this woman, like, unsubscribe from your own situationship. Like, the situationship coming back to being a great relationship is 1 in a million. You're sitting next to the 1 in a million. So it probably is not going to be you. Maybe. We'll see. But I'm saying, you know, if it's 1 in a million that wins the lottery, they're not going to sell the same lottery ticket at the same fucking gas station.
Yeah.
So it ain't going to be you.
Yeah. The whole friend group isn't nailing down the guy who was commitment phobic.
Right. So thank you again to Dry Bar for partnering with us on today's listener advice. And make sure you grab your tickets to our live show April 30th. If there's one thing Dry Bar knows, it's how to give a great blowout. But now you can bring the salon home to you with their new Blowout Defense system. With Blowout Defense shampoo, conditioner, and Blowout Accelerator spray, it turns Get Ready With Me into Stay Ready With Me. Love it. Huge fan of Dry Bar.
Huge fan. You're a
Dry
products.
Bar user,
I am.
lover.
I love Dry Bar. I've been using it for many, many years. Love the salons, love the products. Everything they do. Love the color, love the branding, love it all.
Get your best blowout now and shop the Blowout Defense System at drybar.com. Let's play some games.
All right, let's do it.
Go for it.
Okay. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 6 months. We have a very silly, jokey banter out and about, then a really passionate dynamic and intimacy. Ooh. During the day.
Fire in the bedroom.
During the day, he pokes fun at me. I'm a goofball, so I get it. At night, though, I get into the moment. The awkwardness shakes off, and he seems to notice. He recently asked me why the major shift in and out of the bedroom, but I didn't really have a good answer. Now, though, I'm starting to think he's the issue. He is kind and wonderful, but can be a dummy with compliments. He is quicker to point out a weird outfit choice before telling me I look beautiful. But then, during sex, it's all, you're so sexy, I want to show you off, blah, blah. Which version should I believe? Am I really this strange werewolf that's a nerd during the day and at night takes off her glasses and magically knows how to pole dance? Or is there a correlation between being the commentary and my competence? I want to bring it up without being too needy or annoying. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. A dork in the streets, hottie in the sheets, Betch.
I love this red flag or deal breaker.
It's a good one.
Because it is tough to walk the line of jokes and sexy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a thin
very
line.
different mode.
Different mode. The only thing that would annoy me in this email, listen, you guys have a jokey relationship. That's cool. You guys like roast each other. You make fun. She wears something like a little bit out of the box. He said, you know, he has a name for it. He's like, you know, comes out in a hat. He's like, look at Carmen Sandiego. You going exploring? You know, like that's fun. The only part that annoys me about this is being in an intimate situation going, oh, you act different here. That's
like the acknowledgement of it,
right?
Saying?
Like it's like, yeah, there is sex version of you that you have to like put aside all the other things from the day and what you did, you know, the joke you made earlier to be this like version of you that's sexy.
Right. I think that's kind of nice to have multiple versions of yourself.
I totally agree. And it's like when you poke a hole in it and go, weren't you wearing clown shoes earlier? Like you kind of ruin it. Like I don't want to have to like admit to me not being as sexy as I'm trying to be. Mm-hmm. But like we all got to play along here.
Yeah. Shh.
Yeah. Say less.
Yes.
You know, that would be my annoying thing that like if I told someone like that they were hot while we were in the throes of it, and they were like, "Look at you talking like a man," I'd be like, "Well, here I am." You know?
Right.
You know, like,
if we're gonna do this, let's commit.
Commit to the bit.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Commit to the bit of we are in sex mode. And to me, this is how relationships work.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be fucking weird.
Be in one mode all the time.
Absolutely.
Right. To be in jokey mode during sex, or to be in like romantic mode all day, every day.
Right. And I do think he kind of ruined it. She wrote it very small, but like, he recently asked me why the major shift in and out of the bedroom. It's like, yeah, just shut the fuck up, dude. Like, why the major shift? Because
I'm trying to have sex.
Right. It'd be weird to put on a clown nose and go honk honk while we're fucking. You know, like, like that's why, you know, and if that's your kink, let's do it.
He also seems into it because he seems like he's giving her more compliments and being in that mode. He's also in that mode more.
Yeah, he's doing the game. You know,
why do you think he's doing
impersonating a sexy person too? We all impersonate someone we saw, you know, in a romance novel or porn when we're having sex.
Right.
It's a version of us. It's who we'd like to be. It's who we'd like to see ourselves as. Why does he do? Why, you know, why is he?
Why is he like this?
Because he's insecure.
Right.
You know, like insecurity, calling someone. I don't know. I hate that idea of like, oh, well, look who's being sexy today. It's like, yeah, it's like, it's like when like,
goes. Yeah.
You know, like, but it's like when
let me let's. It's sex is a fantasy. Let's get into it.
Be in the fantasy with me. So is it a deal breaker? No.
I think you could just say something. Be like, next time, if you would like to have sex, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Just be.
And then maybe he's like, whoa, I like this new version of you, you know, talking to me like that. Yeah. Oh, teacher, student, you know, like.
The only thing that could ruin this is more talking from you.
Right. Yeah. And it's also like, how about commit to the bit?
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to say it too. It's like, hey, when we're having sex, like, I'm trying to go to a place.
Not jokey time now.
Right. And if you want to make a jokey time, let's agree that we'll do a jokey time sex, and that's a different version of how we do it. Like,
right.
It can be all versions. Yeah, it's a red flag.
I agree.
Let's do another. Dear J&J, I've been listening to your show for years as an NYC dater and have seen Jared live at the Cellar. Thanks for all the laughs, saving dating again and again. I have a red flag or deal breaker for you. I was at a bar on Saturday night and accidentally hit a guy in the face with my drink.
How do you do that?
He liked that, apparently, because it led to multiple dance floor makeouts. I didn't want to ditch my friends for him, so I went back to dancing with the girls, but tried and failed to booty call him to my apartment later. He was already asleep. I knew he lived in Philly and was very much down for a one-night stand. To my surprise, he called me the next morning and asked me to brunch before the drive back home. I was deeply hungover, but obliged and got ready anyways because, as Jared would say, the allure of the Our Story page. White claw to the face, meet cute, was too good not to give him the chance. However, he ended up calling me on the way to my Brooklyn neighborhood to say that he was too hungover for brunch, but asked if he could come over to my place.
I've got a better idea.
Hey, forget eggs. Wanna just get naked and fuck me instead? Let's just skip over all that bullshit.
I mean, I understand how his head went there.
Right, I get it. I said I wasn't comfortable with him coming over, but wished him the best. I mean, I know I booty called him only 8 hours previously, but the expectation that I would let a stranger into my apartment sober in the daylight put me off. Jared, do you think he thought I would be down for a daytime hookup because I tried to initiate a drunken nighttime hookup? The brunch date made me think he actually wanted to get to know each other, so that made the request to come over extra unappealing. So red flag or deal breaker, your failed booty call asks you out, then changes his mind and tries to booty call you in broad daylight. LOL. He wants to hang out again, but I feel like this ruined it for me. Sincerely, Sexless in the City.
Listen, I don't blame this guy.
No, he took a shot.
Yeah, he took a shot. She had, for her to be like outraged, like she did ask him to come over to her apartment the night before. She has every right to say no, obviously.
And they made out on the dance floor.
Yeah. He took a shot. She wasn't into it. I don't think he did anything wrong. I would see him again if I would also put in his file that he's probably not looking for the Our Story page.
Yeah, I think she has to like take the depth out of this whole thing.
She thinks I'm the kind of woman that would allow him to come over in broad daylight and have sex with me then. I only allow men to come over in the dead of the night when I'm wasted. Right. Doesn't he know I'm a lady?
Right. Like the queen did. Yeah, I also, on the other side of that, he wants to get brunch in the daylight hours. I guess we're meant to be. This is our story page. He must be in love with me and want to get to know me. It's not that. It's also not let me go fuck this whore in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Somewhere in between there.
Right in between the two. She seemed cool. I could eat. Holy crap. I feel like dog shit. Why don't we just cuddle and climax? Or at least I will. You know, like that's kind of what he's thinking.
Took a shot.
It's way...
Could have worked. I wouldn't think it would be like that. I could see a world where someone would be into that.
I could see a world where she said, I am so hungover. It is such a rough morning. And he was like, me too. Let's go get some breakfast. And then he's like, well, if we're both hungover and we don't even want to leave the house, why don't just like go to your place and just like hang out and see what that turns into? Like, I think she has to take the emotion out of it as much, because I don't think he's saying it the way she's interpreted both sides of that to be.
I agree. I think she could see him again. I wouldn't hold it against him.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
assuming he was fine with her saying no.
Well, Sierra, you know, she's looking for a relationship. I think if you want to see this guy again, it's okay. I could see us being in something, so I'm gonna take a date that would make me feel good.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like have him over. We're not saying that. We're saying
no.
If he texts you and says, "Hey, I'm coming back to New York. We should do drinks." Yeah, I would love that. Name a place and tell me where, and I'm down. Or name a neighborhood and I'll find a spot since you're coming from out of town.
Yeah.
That's a different thing than, hey, so I'm in town tonight and I'm in an alley if you want to come suck me off. Like, you know, like, let's be reasonable here.
Right.
You know?
I wouldn't say he's a monster because of this.
No.
Right.
And I don't think he thought monstrously.
Hey, J&J, hooked on the pod, found you through a friend. Now I'm full-blown YouTube subscriber.
Love it.
You guys seriously crack me up. So here's a potential red flag or deal breaker. I met this girl on Hinge. Let's call her HG. Okay. Random.
Okay. Good old HG.
Our first date was amazing. We hit it off, hung out all day, and ended up spending the whole weekend together. By Sunday, she asked if we could be exclusive just for now. No more swiping. I was feeling the vibe, so I said yes.
Okay.
All right. A few days later, we planned another date for ice cream. On the way, she asked if we could pick up her sister from college for a quick ride. Where does your sister go to college?
Right.
A little weird, but okay, right? Then her sister asked if we could take her all the way home to their parents' place, which was in the city. Now I'm thinking, wait, what? Parents already? HG asked if that was cool, and being a people pleaser, I went with the flow.
Couple of ballsy sisters.
Next thing I know, I'm meeting her mom, dad, another sister, and their 2 dogs. Her parents asked who I was, and she goes, we met 5 days ago. They seemed a bit confused. I ended up sitting there for 2 hours making small talk. When I asked for a ride back to my car, she thanked me for the detour. I played it cool, but inside I was screaming. So what do we think? Meeting the whole family 5 days in. Red flag or deal breaker? Thanks, a hoodwinked bitch.
What do you think?
I think this could go with, I mean, kind of like the previous one. I'm like, she threw it out there. She gave it a shot.
Right.
You said yes. She was like, she's riding the momentum of this thing.
Right.
Would I have done it? Probably not. I think it's a little aggressive, but I think she was doing what felt right to her, and he didn't get off the boat.
Right. And to me, it means that a relationship to her, the definition is different than it is to him.
Well, exclusive, I guess.
Like the exclusivity thing. Because it must not mean, I don't know. I don't want to assume someone else's feelings with this. Because to me, if I brought someone home like that, it would mean nothing to me. You know, like I'd be like, yeah, this is like the way he was introduced or she was introduced.
She said we met 5 days ago.
Met 5 days ago. And instead of saying this is my boyfriend or girlfriend, like that's weird to me. Like, if
is he annoyed that he had to do this? He had to like sit down for this? Like, what is his annoyance?
Well, I guess it's funny because I do think because they have this different definition of what exclusive means. Like to him, it's like you make sacrifices for the relationship. So they're asking me to drive to go get their sister and go, you know, to the parents' house and make the small talk for 2 hours. These are the compromises I make for a relationship. And oh my God, I'm in a relationship. And she's asking for all these things, but maybe that's not understood from her end.
What, that it's a big deal to him?
Right. I think he's got to make a better, like, hey,
that's what I'm saying.
even though we're exclusive.
She feels like she's riding the momentum.
Right. And even though we're exclusive, this usually comes from like the other side. You know, like even though we're exclusive, you know, these things are important to me. I just like met your whole family. Like, oh, am I in? Like, are we married?
Is that what he wants?
I don't know. I don't think he even feels like he got the chance to like see what this person's like. Like, I think a piece of this is they feel used, I guess.
He does?
I guess.
By
like,
giving her the ride?
Drive all the way to get my sister. Like, I don't know. Like, if I was new to someone, I do understand not knowing what you can say.
Right. You have no context for like what this means on their end. Like, are they using you for a ride, or are they excited to have you meet their parents?
Right. And hey, I don't want to do this. Am I being a bad boyfriend?
How would they
to
take
them?
that?
Like,
right.
yeah, I don't even know what the dynamic is yet. It's why I wouldn't get into something this quickly.
Well, it's something I could see. Again, think about the Our Story page. 5 days in, we were just hanging out. He met my parents. It was just like kind of like went from there. We never looked back.
Here's the other thing. If you didn't enjoy this,
well, that's the
maybe
question.
you don't like her that much.
Right.
To me, this is right. What you're saying, where it's like, this is how we met. This was so great. 5 days in, I don't want to spend a minute away from them. This person 5 days in is like, am I being used? It was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you don't like hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Easy come, easy go.
That's true. It doesn't mean much.
Right. So it's like, if this the exclusivity thing happened.
I respect her move. She was just like, it's on. Let's see how much I can get here.
Right. Right.
It's
paying for gas. Yeah. I got a sister that's at college. She wants to go home to my family.
Stop by the chapel on the way back.
Right. We'll just get this over with. Yeah. Let's just like wrap this up. And throw a ring on my finger. I don't know, 40 grand, whatever you want to spend.
I respect. She's just like, she's
moving.
We're moving.
And he's going, oh my God.
He's got to opt out, not opt in. She's doing a series of reveals. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, to him, like, I think it's okay. I think what I would feel bad about is like, I've made a lot of promises that now I have to like.
Has he? The promise was to be exclusive until said otherwise.
Well, then also going to the parents' house and picking up the sister. Is she taking this as like these yeses as meaning I'm infatuated with her, I'm having the best time?
I would take it that way, right?
Right. I'm not having the best time.
So then say that.
I think he has to be okay with that.
But I don't think he would. I wouldn't fault him for saying that.
No, but I think I can understand people pleaser.
Right.
I have a similar tendency.
Her being like, well, why would you meet my parents? Why would you agree to be exclusive?
Right. Why would you do all these things if you didn't have fun doing them? It's like, well, I didn't really realize until after I got done with them.
Right. But it's also like, I think women are most annoyed when it feels like someone's wasting their time. And like that's like the 5 days. It's like, all right, we gave it a real shot.
In and out.
To me, I would respect that. I'd be like, all right, you gave it a real shot.
Right.
Like you went fully for those 5 days.
I'm going to be exclusive with everyone I go on a first date with.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it like saves everyone's time. Like, let's be in a relationship. Yeah, we'll be in a real relationship for a week. We'll try it on. And at the end, we either can renew or, go our separate ways.
It's like in basketball, they have 10-day contracts.
Yeah.
Like if you can sign on for another 10-day contract, I should start doing that.
That should be our dating show.
10-day contracts.
Yeah. You renew or you're, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
I like that. Or you take the money.
Yes.
Like we offer some sort of financial
I love that. Yeah.
thing. And every 10 days you can get more money.
As longer you stay, right?
Yeah.
So then you have to, at a certain point, you have to say, am I here? Why am I here? Am I here for the person? Am I here for the...
Right. 20,000. I'll do another 10 days.
I love it.
Worth doing. Well, we solved dating again.
We did it. We will be back on Friday.
Boom.
Bye.